What's up, everyone? It's Ollie with the Popcorn Talk Network. What's poppin', girl? I have Harley Quinn Smith to my left. How has your San Diego Comic-Con 2019 been thus far?
It's been really busy. I got in last night. I've been filming in Atlanta, so we've been filming night shoots all weekend. So I got in last night. It's been quite busy.
Right. I'm super excited to be interviewing you today because your dad actually was such a huge fan of Quentin Tarantino, and now his own daughter is going to be in a Quentin Tarantino film. That is awesome. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, girl. So what has been like the most surprising thing that fans might not know about working with Quentin?
I think he's becoming more known, but he has a rule on set where you can't have your phone. So, and then no phones. You have to check in your phone at a checkpoint, which was honestly awesome in my opinion, because I feel like when you're nervous, especially doing like first day on a film or something like that, you usually just divert to your phone, but when you don't have that, you're kind of forced to actually talk to people, and like that really helps you make, you know, bolder like go and actually speak to people and then make friendships. So I think it's such a cool thing that he does. But yeah, I did not know that going in, and I thought it was so cool once I found out.
Right, and your super secret role that I'm so curious about. Do you think fans are gonna like your role, or are they gonna hate your role? Can you tell me something, a little something?
I hope they like it. I don't think there's anything to hate. I'm a hippie, so.
Right, and it's so cool because Margot Robbie's going to be in it, and she played Harley Quinn. You know your name, you know what? And also we have Brad, we have Leo. So can you tell me any experience if you got the chance to work with them at all? If they offered you any advice, or even if Quentin given you any advice as an actor?
I don't know if I got any advice
Yet.
Maybe one day.
Well, speaking of Quentin, you know, his new film, or his next film, is going to be Star Trek. It's going to be like the R-rated Star Trek. I don't know if you knew about that, but would you be interested in possibly, I mean, you're already in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so would you want to be in Star Trek? And what role would you see yourself as? What would you cast yourself as if you were in that film?
Nice. I mean, I hope he makes it just as a fan of his, because I've heard like a ton of stuff lately saying that he wants to retire like right after this, so I sincerely hope that's not the truth. But I mean, yeah, that'd be awesome. As a nerd, that'd be just really, really cool to be in Star Trek.
Tarantino, he's exhausted like us at Comic-Con. We're just like, oh my gosh, day 3. So I also heard some news that you actually want to play Courtney Love in a biopic one day, and I think that's so freaking phenomenal, dude. So what about Courtney's journey has really inspired you as a person, and maybe even as an artist as well?
Yeah, well, I feel like on a bunch of different levels, I appreciate her story so much, and I also really empathize with her because so much of her life has been kind of lumped in with Kurt, and I feel like so much of my life has been lumped in with my dad. Like her own story and journey has never really been told before, and she's had like this absolutely incredibly difficult and just all over the place life to lead her to the moments of starting whole and everything. So and she truly did, like, everybody kind of downplays her because obviously Kurt and Nirvana had a massive effect, and I love Nirvana with my whole heart, but a lot of people then don't acknowledge how influential Hole was on music, but particularly grunge. Like, it changed the course of grunge forever, and she has made such a lasting impact on music and female musicians for forever, and she doesn't get as much appreciation as she should, and she literally like moved mountains to make her career happen, and nobody really knows about it, and everything that she did to get where she is now. And I have so much admiration for her. I think she's just one of the most like complicated, incredible humans on this earth. So it'd is my biggest dream, to make a film about her.
Because you're also a musician too as well, so you would get to, you know, play some music and sing and whatnot.
Yes.
So that's like the dream come true for you. That's a perfect role. So cast her as Courtney Love in the biopic, people. If Courtney were to watch this, what message would you, or what words would you want her to hear? What would you say to Courtney, basically, if she's watching this?
I literally think about this all the time, and what I would say to get her to believe that I could write and direct a film about her. But I think I just understand her story and have so much appreciation, empathy for her story, more than a lot of people seem to have. And like whenever I tell people she's kind of my muse or my role model, everybody's like, are you serious? Like, she's crazy. But whether she's crazy or not, like, I don't really care that she's had the most insane journey, and she has accomplished so much and changed the course of music, fashion, grunge forever. And so I truly feel like I understand her and feel a different way about her than most people do. Before Hole started, she had, like, her family situation was insane, and a lot of people know about Kurt's family situation, but they actually had, it's almost like they had very mirrored lives. Like their families were very broken. They bounced around. They didn't live in one place for a long time at all. They always bounced around. Courtney's family moved to, I think it was Ireland, and they left her. Like, she was all over the place. She was stripping in different countries and everything. And I think, you know, that's such a delicate subject. And obviously, like, if you watch interviews, if people ask her about it, she gets very, you know, kind of closed off, understandably. But I think, like, I wouldn't ever really want to make a film about her without her permission. And I've always thought, like, if I could make this film, I'd always want to, like, I haven't, because I talk about it all the time, and people ask me, like, if I have a script, and I'm like, I mean, I have an outline, but I would never even want to think about writing a script until I could speak to her and be like, what do you want to be told? Yes. Like, I mean, she's been through so much, and I think that the most important part of it all is just telling her own story, not Kurt's story with her attached to it. So, I mean, whatever she would want to be included in that story, but I think, like, what led her to, you know, Pretty on the Inside and then live through this was, like, that time was so interesting, like, way before Kurt. I think that it's so interesting to me. So yeah. No, it sounds like she would, obviously you want to tell her story correctly and with her permission. So it sounds like she would definitely need to be like executive producer or some kind of consultant on the project. So Courtney, if you're out there, if you're watching, you know, get with this girl right now, ready? So I don't want to take up too much of your time because San Diego Comic-Con, you're busy, girl. Booked and busy over here on the couch. But I do want to ask about your name. Obviously, I can't leave without asking about your name, Harley Quinn. You're named after such an iconic DC character. Has Harley Quinn ever been like a role model to you growing up, or has really inspired you as a person, as an individual, an artist, an actor, in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, I mean, I basically have like a shrine to Harley Quinn on my wall. And she's always, like, besides my biased opinion, like, I've always thought she was the coolest. But I really do, like, in terms of just character development, I think, like, Paul Dini created Harley Quinn, and I think that he is a complete genius. And Harley Quinn, I truly do believe, is, like, the most unique character to the DC universe. I think, like, it's so interesting because it's not like she has an evil power or something that makes her a villain. It's she's completely driven by her love, and that is what makes her the way that she is. It literally drove her insane. So I think that's so meta and like and really deep and cool to think about. Just in terms of character development, I think that's as cool as it gets for me. So I mean, I definitely do think about her all the time, and in terms of when I'm writing and everything, in my own character's development. So yeah, no, she for sure inspires me.
She inspires me too, because we're all human. She's a human, and love just screws up everything. Well, until then, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, Harley. You're awesome, and I cannot wait to see you in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in theaters very soon. Have a wonderful time at Comic-Con this year, girl.
Thank you.
Of course. Nice meeting you, girl.